Oh, well, hello, friends. I do always cherish our Friday nights together. You see, we left off on a cliffhanger last time, and I know you won't be able to sleep unless you know what happens. I get that, of course. But Lord Marth had a rude awakening from his 50-year slumber. The vicious witch Solyet tried to dispose of him before he could awaken. However, with a bit of luck and the backing of his friends in his dreams, he was able to overcome her and slay her. Now, not all was peachy keen for his majesty, though. Looking out of the confines of his room, he saw the city he once knew and loved. It had been laid to waste. His country overthrown by the almighty Mechalite Empire. Wasting no time, though, Lord Marth, formed an alliance with several unlikely allies. There was Max Swords, a card shark; Alice, a reserved yet mysterious girl; Tim's, a giant Turliad with fierce strength; Pivot, a talented mind and a mage. And then there was Lookdown, a man who had experienced the darkest side of humanity's heart. They even met a funny traveling merchant by the name of Pavelli. Together with wits and brute strength, they defeated Grey, the butler of the castle, and his band of guards. Yet with a renewed sense of vigor, the unlikely group of heroes set their eyes on Halagnur, Mechalite's capital city. There awaits the answers they seek in the palace of the Velmore royal family. However, this was all to be a tall task to accomplish. Lord Marth better understood the difficulty of the trials ahead that evening when an escort of 4 jailers arrived at the castle. They were making their way for a prisoner drop-off. Their prisoner, a young girl, only 7 years of age. Luckily, though, the jailers knew not of Solyet's disappearance. And instead of waking his allies, Lord Marth decided, with quick movements and quick feet and quick mind, to take matters into his own hands. Invoking the book of Na Tu Na, a chronicle of spells and enchantments written by Solyet, Marth managed to put the jailers to sleep. His Majesty then turned the tables back on his enemy. He built a mental dungeon, just as Solyet had once done to him. But this time he did it in order to test the minds and hearts of the 4 jailers. Though seemingly indoctrinated and disillusioned, Marth found mercy in his heart, something Solyet never could have done. And he spared the group of men, knowing that inside a piece of their former selves still existed in the midst of chaos. Tonight, what adventures lie on the path ahead? Oh, I can't wait to tell you. Well, let's get to it.
My name is Keen Decker, and I'm here to invite you to an evening not like most others. An evening where 4 streamers are pitted up against one another in hopes for fame and fortune. Will one streamer rise to the top and unlock fortunes like no other? Or will they all fall victim to the horrors of Marth's Dungeon? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my little Marth's Dungeon prison champs, and thank you, Candy. Thank you for the sub right off the bat. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a good night. Welcome back to Marth's Dungeon. We are on season 2, episode 2 here. I hope you enjoyed our little Dalton recap in the beginning, and welcome everybody. Is prison champs like a weird? Is it too demeaning? Is that no good?
How about Dungeoneers?
Yeah, that's actually way better. Yeah, I like it. I thought of prison champs like off the top of my head, and I think that's probably not so good.
Prison champ is PC, so
that's true. It can't get any cleaner than that. All right. let me put on some music here. Perfect. So, we last left off, yes, with you guys slaying Gray the Butler. And you all took like a long rest, all healed up. Marth and Max had a little bit of a long night. And first to definitely wake up is look down. You are definitely a very light sleeper and somebody who does not require a lot of rest. While normal people can kind of get away with like 6 hours, you more so can get away with like 4 hours for a rest. So you woke up bright and early, and your cage is completely open, which it has never ever in your life been before. And the morning is yours. Everybody else, nobody else kind of seems to be awake. You do hear a small rustling in one of the cells that's kind of close by to you.
I will trepidatiously open the door, look down the hallway to see if anybody's coming.
Okay, yeah, you look down the hallway. There is nobody coming down the hallway at all.
Then I will investigate the noise.
Okay, perfect. Roll a just like a quick little observation check, I guess.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, my dice are totally ready. 17.
17, perfect. So you hear that the rustling is coming from a nearby cell just up the way here. And behind the cell bars, you see 4 men, 2 of which are undead. One of them is a Doppelum, who is laying down. He doesn't seem to be moving. And there's also a human dancer who is awake as well. The human dancer kind of looks at you and he like nervously kind of like looks you up and down and doesn't say anything to you. The other 2 are kind of resting in the corner.
Ooh.
And as you are kind of like looking through the bars, Serviad kind of walks from behind one of the cell doors and walks up to you, and he looks in and he says, It is a bit troubling, isn't it, that we came all this way and the great Lord Marth takes charge, and it's more of the same, isn't it? I suppose it's a bit sad.
I am very conflicted.
The human dancer is going to kind of like walk up and like grab onto the bars and give you a little smile and say, because he's seen that you're kind of you walk up to the door and you've stayed there for a little bit now. He's gonna look you in the eye and say, "You wouldn't want to let me out, would you? You seem like a nice enough person, reasonable guy. Let me and my friends go. We don't want any trouble. We just want to go home. Please, please, let me go home. You can do that for me, can't you?"
I tilt my head. Why are you here?
Oh, you see, it was a giant misunderstanding. We were travelers coming to visit the Queen. I mean, visit Solyet. There was this great misunderstanding, and someone locked us up, and we don't belong here. We just want to go back to our traveling caravan.
Why her?
Oh, well, I mean, you see, I should be honest with you, okay? We had to work for Solyet for coin. It's the only way that we could survive. So we brought people to the dungeons, And this time we were intercepted. There was this man. He called himself Marth, I think, and he was very rude, and he locked us up in these disgusting cages. It's horrible. I hate being locked up like this. Please, please, I beg you, let me and my friends go. Have some mercy.
Is Serviad still here?
Yep, Serviad is still here.
I just kind of look over at him.
Serviad kind of, he, like, looks over to you as well, and he kind of gives you a nod. He says, well, I suppose one cruel action doesn't necessarily justify another. I say that we probably could let them go. I don't know. It's up to you, though. And he says, good luck, champ. And he kind of walks up and back behind his cell and disappears again.
What you did was willingly.
I willingly, I suppose, yes. I was so in fear for my life. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again, I promise. Just let me go and you'll never see me again.
We'll see. And I leave to make my way to Marth.
Okay, so you're leaving to go find Marth, yes?
Yes,
Perfect.
I assume it's locked and I don't have the means to open.
Yes.
So.
The door is definitely locked. You kind of go to like jiggle it, and it is completely shut. So as you kind of like look through the corridors, and you don't really see Marth anywhere. You do see in the corner, just over here. Hold on, let me just add her in. You do see Alice taking a nap behind several boxes, pressed up against the wall, making sure she's watching all angles as she's sleeping. But she is kind of passed out behind a couple of boxes, just with her back up against the wall. And she go ahead and actually just roll a stealth check for me really quickly.
I was actually going to say I walk over towards her.
Okay, perfect.
I wouldn't be doing it stealthily. I'd just be kind of walking.
Yep.
When I saw her. Because you said she's standing?
No, she's sleeping. She's kind of like, she has her back up against the wall so she can kind of look out to see if anybody is coming. She's sleeping in an area that she's kind of never been in before, so.
Gotcha. I thought you were saying like she was like sleeping, standing up against the wall.
that would also be pretty awesome. That's very Dark Souls 2-esque. Okay, so you walk up to Alice.
Okay. Yep. Looks.
What's that, sorry?
I'm trying to think of a better word for uncomfortable. I know uncomfortable. Looks uncomfortable.
So you say this out loud to Alice, and
Yeah.
Alice, do you wake up?
No.
Alice is still kind of softly asleep. She's been kind of awake throughout the night, and has just not gotten a lot of sleep, so she's still sleeping. Surprisingly
Steven
enough.
there?
Yes. The rat is kind of crawling in between some of the boxes.
I kneel down to see if I can get it to come to me and pet it.
Okay, perfect. Do you say anything to it, or do you have any food?
Nope.
Okay, so you just kind of reach your hands down.
Yep.
Give me a just like a persuasion.
12.
Okay, yeah. Steven has seen you a couple of times now, so Steven kind of crawls up to you and sits on your hand.
I pet him and just more confused today, Steven.
Perfect. And do you want to walk away with Steven? What's your next what's the play?
No, just more of a just trying to understand things moment more than anything, because like Steven was just like, oh, well, we have this thing now. So I'm just gonna put it back and then continue towards Marth.
Okay, perfect.
A little more calmer than I was before.
Nice. Yeah, Steven's a cute little animal, nice and comforting. He just wants to run around and be pet and fed, so he very happily kind of crawls between the boxes and tries to like nestle himself in one of them to find some food.
Enjoy sleep.
Perfect. So as you head up the into the throne room, you notice that nobody's in the throne room. Nobody really seems to be awake just yet. And all is really quiet, but you do hear very loud, thunderous snoring coming from Thames's armory. This is a place that you've never really been before, other than just yesterday. This was their first time ever really seeing this throne room. So
I wouldn't.
Yeah, so you wouldn't technically know where Thames's room is or kind of Soliet's room is.
Soliet's room.
Yep.
Gotcha.
You just hear an industrial fan coming from.
Oh.
There's nothing, and you have no clue what it is.
Yeah, I'd probably. I mean, once again, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll investigate the noise.
Okay, perfect. So you kind of walk across this nice little bridge, and you go to the door. How would you like to open it?
Normally.
Okay. You go to open the door, and it opens just fine. It's actually not locked. Thames isn't really somebody who necessarily needs a ridiculous amount of privacy. So you kind of open the door and you see a gigantic Turliad is sleeping on a bedroll that is just way too small for him. And also on his back, it looks horribly uncomfortable. His limbs are just kind of flopped off to the sides. And a blanket, like a very small sheeted blanket, is kind of slightly over him.
They sleep weird. Where Marth?
I think, like, if you have the door open, the second you start speaking, like, Thames would just jolt awake.
What the fuck?
And he just, whenever he jolts awake, he'll be like, what is it this time? It's you.
Hello. Where's Marth?
What time is it?
It is very early in the morning.
He's saying that too. Look down.
Oh, got you.
I look at you confused.
Right. He's probably to your left. The door that is that's to the. If you're looking at the throne to the right, it's the big door.
Got it. And then I leave.
I love it. Just hangs on the silence. I imagine in my head, just look down, just like staring at him.
Yeah.
Tim's is still on his back. It's really hard to get off of it. So he's kind of just looking at him awkwardly.
It was more like when he tried to describe where it was, looked down, just kind of looked over, trying to figure out what exactly he's saying. It's just like, well, there's only one other door, so I guess it's that one.
Perfect.
And I've never heard anything polite, so I'm assuming I'm not gonna say anything polite to him.
Yes.
Don't worry, Tim is also not used to hearing anything polite.
Yeah. There's a whole castle of non-polite.
We're just all business here. No niceties.
So you walk up to the door here. I'm assuming you probably find the right door, since there's no really any other way. And how do you want to open the doors?
Normal.
Normal for the first door? Yeah, and you kind of walk up to the next one, and you open it normally as well, I'm assuming. You walk into the room, and you see Marth sleeping in kind of like a bloodied bed. And you spot just a very small sight of Maxwell sleeping in a tub with the water still in it, by the way. Like, just he didn't bother to like empty it out. He's just sleeping in the giant tub, just kind of relaxing.
I make my way to Marth's bed.
Perfect. So you make your way over to Marth's bed, and are you doing it stealthily or are you doing it normally?
No, I will literally just walk over and go, "Why?"
Hi. You gave me quite a. What do you what can I do for you?
New people.
New people. You must be talking about the girl.
No. 4 new prisoners.
And Marth nods his head silently and kind of like bites his lip just a little bit and sits to the end of the bed, looks you in the eye and says, "Yeah, okay. I was going to make a formal announcement about this a little bit later on, but since you're awake now, I'll just be quiet not to wake Max, because he was up with me. But we had some intruders come to the castle last night, and they had a prisoner on them. It was a young girl. She was only 7 years old, and I did what I had to do. I didn't kill them, but I locked them up, yes, of course, because I want to know if there's more prisoners out there like her. I just need to know why they're doing what they're doing, who they're working for, and after that I was going to let them go, but yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you. I should have woke you up.
They want to leave.
Well, they most certainly cannot. And Marth kind of stands up and looks at you. He says, you understand that I need to get information out of these people. They're dangerous people. They're bringing children and enslaving them. They're not good people. If I let them go, they're just going to go back to what they're doing. You understand that, right?
They say work for which?
Yes.
For gold.
Yes.
Which
yes,
dead?
Which is dead. Yes. Soliet. She, and they haven't really disposed of the body yet. The body is kind of stacked up in the corner by some bookshelves. It's not like a blood and guts situation, nothing like that. She's been alive for so long that when the spell kind of reverted, she turned into just a cadaver. But she's like kind of propped up in the corner.
I walk over to her.
And Marth watches you kind of like walk up over to her. Yep.
Why I special? And then I punch her.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Roll, just, yeah, go ahead and roll, you're not missing. Roll damage.
Roll damage? I rolled a 19 on the d20, so...
Okay, yeah, perfect.
What's my damage? 2d4. I don't know what happened to my d4. Hang on. It's dark in my room,
No, you're
as
good.
you can tell.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did it go? My bad, guys.
Do
I
you
literally have all my dice right. I might.
Yeah, I got you. I'm on my way, Josh. Don't worry. I'm coming.
Hurry! I legitimately have all my dice in one spot, and apparently my d4 is not one of them. Thank you, sir. 7 damage.
7 damage. Oh shit. Okay, so you rolled like almost max. Yeah, so you give just a gigantic cleave backwards directly into the skull of Solyet's corpse. And it kind of just turns to a poof of like crumpled bones and dust, and out of her skull drops a brilliantly glowing eye.
I don't even care.
And yeah, go ahead.
I just look over at Marth. Why they stay? Why we leave?
What do you mean by that? I stay, leave. Who's staying? Who's leaving?
Me. Free. They locked.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, how long have you been locked up for, Lookdown? Do you know how long?
Shrugs.
Shrugs?
No. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Can't remember.
It seems that it's been a long time for you. And yes, most people do deserve to be free and walk around as they please, but there are some people that wish to do harm on others, and I just simply can't let that happen. Some people do deserve to be locked up, but what happened to you was unjust. There's a difference. And, like, as Marth says that, Serviad kind of appears and just kind of laughs to himself. And he kind of, like, looks over to you to see what your opinion is on what he just said.
Who? He just kind of visibly gets angry in his frustration and confusion.
And Marth sees that you're kind of visually just getting more and more perturbed, and he like puts his hands forward and he says, "Listen, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't want to imprison them either. I will let them free as soon as I have the information I need from them. And as soon as I know that they're not going to continue doing terrible things to other people." And Marth says, "You know what? Come with me." And he kind of gives you like a hand forward. He kind of like is pointing you towards the door to the bedroom.
I follow.
Okay, perfect. And Maxwell is none the wiser. He has no idea what the fuck is going on. He's a very
peaceful sleeper.
He's a very, very peaceful sleeper. So as you kind of just walk through, there's no really words spoken from Marth. He's just kind of guiding you, making sure you're still watching and following.
I do, as we're walking, say, ask Pivot.
Pivot? Ask Pivot what?
How long?
Oh, yes, of course. Where is Pivot? And Marth kind of like looks around the throne room, and he's like, I guess I never really asked where he sleeps. And so he says like no idea where Pivot is. And he's like, you know what though, we'll find him along the way.
I'd like to also point out the industrial fan snoring's back.
Perfect. Just as you're walking down, you hear, oh.
Also, I don't know Alice's name, do I?
I don't think she told you, no.
No, I don't think I know Alice's name. I'm assuming I know Pivot's for sure.
Yeah, you've definitely heard
Thames,
Pivot's
probably.
name before. Thames definitely knows of you. You've seen him a couple of times. I'll let you kind of determine for yourself whether you know his name or not on the couple times that you've kind of seen him. But yeah, so you guys, he kind of like guides you down and into the cafeteria here. And as you arrive, he walks to the bottom of the stairs, and there is a young girl She is actually no longer sleeping, as she apparently didn't sleep very much throughout the night. And Marth kind of gets to the bottom step and like keeps his distance away from her, because she's very she comes off as a very fragile and not necessarily untrusting, but untrusting in the same kind of kid. And he looks to you and says, "So this is the young girl that these thugs were trying to enslave. And listen, I know you've been in this dungeon for about as long as you can remember. That's not the life that she deserves. Anyone who would do that to someone else deserves to be behind those bars. Isn't that right?"
Then why are you here?
What do you mean, why am I here? What?
You locked up. Anybody who lock up should be locked up.
If that's your perception on it, I could leave the option up to you. You can let them go if you so please. And as Marth says that, the little girl comes running up to you two and starts bawling her eyes out. She says, "No, don't, please. Please don't do that. They're gonna hurt us again. They're gonna just keep hurting us. He'll come after me. He'll come after me."
I look at Marth and I kind of narrow my eyes, soften them, and say, "Trust."
And Marth looks to you, looks at the girl, and very, very begrudgingly, because he knows it's so far beyond his better interests, gives you the nod.
I trust you.
And that is a huge, huge sigh of relief from Marth, as he thought that you were going to release the prisoners. And he says, thank you. I appreciate that. Should we wake the others? We have a lot to talk about. Penelope, are you hungry? And she kind of like does like a cute little like nod of the head and like looks down to the ground. And Marth says, okay. Look down. Would you want to wake the others up while I kind of make a meal for Penelope here?
Soon.
Okay.
And I sit down in front of Penelope and I experiments.
No. Nothing like that. No experiments. We're not like that. We don't experiment on people.
Not us. Them.
Oh.
What I'm trying to get across is the relating to her on what they did to her, like experiment-wise, quote unquote.
I get you. Let's see. She kind of understands what you're getting at, and she like looks. She still has her head kind of like down to the ground and is like kind of playing with her fingers and just kind of softly. When a kid's been crying a lot, sometimes they have just a soft little whimper where they kind of just sniffle and just kind of like look around and don't want to talk. But she kind of like just nods a little bit to you and then just kind of goes and sits down away from everybody else a little. Yeah, just a little bit of distance between everybody.
I'll go wake
Perfect. So you get up from your chair, and for some reason I just envision it that it's not graceful whatsoever. You just kind of, and then just like start walking.
I kind of figured I was sitting on the floor.
Oh, perfect.
Just like more eye level with her. And then I'll get up to go to leave, and when I get to the end of the stairwell, I look over towards the jail cells, just do a nice little grunt, and then I'll go wake up Thames, because that was a lot easier to do than Alice.
Perfect. So you go back into the throne room. You give a quick look around again just to get your bearings of like everything that's in here, and you're like, yes, of course. Now I know where I am. And you head it towards the industrial fan snoring again, and you go back open. Did you close the door, by the way?
No.
So you walk back over to the door.
Thames didn't either.
You walk back over to the door, and Thames, do you wake up from just kind of feeling his presence in the room, or?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I'm thinking that Thames is probably used to, like, waking up to solely at wanting something done. So the second like he feels just any presence, he's like he just gets up.
Yeah.
Or tries to. What is it this time? Do you need more directions?
Food room. Marth wants.
I last night I already fixed the staircase to the food room. Marth asked me to.
Asked to wake.
Did someone fall down the stairs again?
No.
Okay.
New visitor.
Okay. Better than I thought it was. And then he, like, starts... I'm trying to think of the word. He starts, like, rolling on his shell one way, then the other, and then, like, is slowly progressing more and more to his stomach. So he's like rocking his ship, except he's slowly getting closer and closer to his stomach. Then he gets to his stomach.
I was gonna say, while you're doing that, at one point I would have probably been like, help.
No, this is routine.
I kind of stared in astonishment. Like, it's probably actually pretty impressive to watch.
As this whole display is happening as well, this whole grand display, the doors open, and in walks Pivot, and he looks to his right to see Look Down just kind of standing in the doorway, and then Thames just rocking back and forth to try to get up, and he just like he opens like the doors softly because he probably thinks that everybody's still sleeping, and just like looks over and doesn't want to cause a scene and just starts walking over towards the cafeteria to make some breakfast for himself.
Okay.
I probably don't even notice.
Perfect.
Oh.
He's gonna walk all the way down.
Well, I'm actually pretty observant. I probably notice if we don't say anything.
Okay, perfect. Just a beautiful little awkward moment between the boys.
Yeah. I still have mixed feelings, you know?
There is one thing you can do. Can you take height off my stomach?
The
hammer.
Oh. I reached to pull the hammer off your stomach.
Thank you. And then he finally is able to rotate himself.
Just the hammer weighing him down slightly.
Thank you.
Now please hand it back.
Hands it back.
Thank you. We go now.
Wake others. And I leave to go wake up Max.
I love how just awkwardly raw it is. It's fucking beautiful.
You're using a bunch of terms I've never heard before.
No, absolutely. It makes complete sense. And as he kind of leaves, as he leaves to go wake up Max, are you heading with him, or are you headed towards the cafeteria? Mr. Thames.
Oh, okay. Whenever, like, he kind of stands up, gets his bearings. I like to think that Tim's probably sleeps with most of his gear on.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that.
So he'll probably just pick up the face shield and put it up, over his eyes. Or I should say, like, the way people put goggles on when they're not using them. And then just walks out, looks at the water. That, like whenever you procrastinate, whenever you're like looking at your shoes for like 15 minutes, kind of just like, looks at the water for about a minute, then walks over to the cafeteria.
Beautiful. Okay. So we have look down headed over here. I'm gonna just move you over to the cafeteria for now. Yeet. And you do you walk up and go through the same way as you kind of did before? Just kind of like going through the doors normally. Okay, perfect.
I didn't shut them, and I was the last one out. Unless they shut on their own.
No. Still slightly open. Yep. And as you kind of go ahead.
I live like I'm in a barn. It's
it's beautiful. You're like, my door's open now. Every door can be open now.
True freedom.
You reach the top of the staircase, and Max is kind of just like, oh, Carly, oh my God, I've never seen a woman so beautiful in my life. Drinks, yeah, on me. Just talking.
I try to find who he's looking to.
You try to find what? Sorry.
I try to find who he's talking to.
And Serviad kind of like it pops out, and he's just like he's doing this wonderful thing called a wet dream. Look down. It's a wet dream. And it's just kind of like this beautifully awkward moment of him just like not really wanting to explain any further what that means.
Wait, Max is in the bathtub. He's butt-ass naked, too.
Boy, howdy. It's like, it's wet enough that he's in like a half-full tub. It's kind of weird. But, actually, while Serviet's there, I was be like, what's a dream?
Well, a dream is where things kind of happen to you in your head that normally wouldn't happen in real life. Some people have fantastic powers. Some people dream of romance. In our friend Max's case, of course, here. But some people also have horrible dreams. Sometimes they're not always nice, and they call them nightmares. But it seems our friend Max here is having a dream.
At least he seems happy.
And, like, Max has kind of just been drifting in and out of sleep this entire time. He's one of those sleepers that, like, he's a light enough sleeper that if somebody kind of walks in the room and makes some noise, he'll wake up, but he doesn't want to actually get up. So he's kind of just, like, in the bathtub, just like,
He
knows that somebody's there.
As I get closer, I'm assuming my chains are dragging, so he'll just hear chains getting closer to his, sleeping body.
And as you kind of approach, he's just like, hold on now. I haven't done anything. Please don't take me away. Please, for the love of God, just leave us alone.
Marth want friend.
Do you open up the curtains, or are you saying it like in between the curtains and the mirrors here?
Oh, there's a curtain there? Yeah, I just kind of awkwardly push the curtain aside, trying to figure out how it works. And it's like Marth, and like I assume it opens up that halfway where just like the one eye is looking through at him, just like the one intense eye that's I'm not trying to be. I was like, Marth want friend.
And Max, like, sometimes when you walk outside and you come across a bunny rabbit and it freezes up and looks at you like with one eye just very widened and just doesn't move. That's exactly what happens with Max. He gets goosebumps like all throughout his body and just kind of like frozenly looks at you. And he says, yeah. What? Who? Marth? He wants what?
You. Us.
Yeah. And he just kind of stands up, and as he stands up, you just see a bare ass in this mirror here. And he's just like, yeah, just give me a sec. I'll be right down.
Okay.
Just leave. Perfect.
And now we try to wake up the one that didn't want to wake up.
Alright, attempt number 2. You walk over, just kind of as you normally do. Does this wake you up, Alice?
No.
I kind of like rattle my chains against the ground because I'm trying to imitate like hitting like the bars to wake me up. I'm just like, this is the. Hello.
Nothing.
And as this is happening, Max like he hears this like down the hall and sees you just kind of rattling your chains and just like clanking them, and he like looks down the hall and just kind of like tiptoes down and tries to like just go past without making any sound.
That is.
Do I notice him?
I wake up.
Yeah, you make like a full ass turn, and her eyes open up, and Max is just like almost around the corner, but like kind of catches eye contact with you, and he's just like,
Thank you.
Yeah. Any day is what I'm here for, I guess. I just, my God, I just need something to eat. He walks down into the cafeteria.
Meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
Been hearing word a lot today.
The word thank you?
Yes.
Oh.
What
Okay.
mean?
It means giving thanks. Like, I appreciate it. Or I don't know. It's a nice thing to say when you give thanks.
Oh. Thank you. And then I leave.
Perfect. Walks down.
Oh.
Do you take your time getting up a little bit, Alice, or?
I'm gonna. No, I feel like everything's on me.
Perfect. You head down and follow. Look down here. Everybody arrives in the cafeteria. Pivot is grabbing some cabbage. Just eating some straight up cabbage. He is just ravenous. He's just kind of like it's kind of a foul display. Penelope is kind of just sitting down, eating some oatmeal. And Marth is just kind of like welcoming everybody as they're coming in, letting everybody grab some food. Max definitely made a beeline for the full buffet here, and he's just kind of stacking a plate of a bunch of different things. And Thames, what would you like to do?
Tim's in his arm is like carrying like about 5 potatoes, like forearm carrying them.
Yeah.
And is just occasionally picking them up and out of his arm and like biting about half of them off, and then eating the other half.
Just big gigantic bites.
He also grabbed the potatoes from the bin that weren't cooked.
Oh God. Go ahead and just.
Picky.
Yeah, go ahead and have you eaten any of those potatoes yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of you bite down on it and it makes a big crunch. It kind of like audibly echoes throughout the room. And you're just like, oh. and you don't really feel anything just yet. Has not hit your digestive tract, but you know that in a little while, you are going to have a very bad day.
Question, Keen.
Yes.
Can the turtlead digestive system digest starches? Because I'm pretty sure actual turtles can.
That's an interesting question. I kind of thought so. But you know what? Yeah, I would say they can eat normal starches. They're much more human-like in certain ways. They can kind of eat similarly to like a human being. But something that's like uncooked, especially for somebody like in your condition, is real bad. Like things
so
need to be really cooked.
It's not the starch that's a problem.
Right.
Okay. I feel like once I like realize that they're not cooked, I'd be like, okay, we're putting those back,
You put them back, and
including the half bit.
yeah, you put it back, and Max like kind of just like looks at you, just with like a, oh my God, I can't fucking believe this.
Going to do anything about it, Max?
Oh no, I'm good. He sits down.
And then I continue placing the potatoes back.
Perfect.
And that's what Thames is doing.
Look down, Alice. Would you like to grab any food?
Yes, I would like to go to the food, and I put Steven down so he can take what he wants.
Perfect. You set Steven down, and just like a dog, he has no just way to stop himself from eating way too much. And so he kind of like happily walks up and grabs a like a little pepper and drags it over towards your like sleeve and just like starts nibbling on it.
Nice.
And I know it's not necessarily displayed here, but there is some fruit as well. You have like a little display of fruit that you can grab from if you would like that instead of vegetables and potatoes and starches and oatmeal.
I take some fruit and I sit right by Max.
As you sit by Max, he just gets like a little upstart and he's just like, oh, hi.
Good morning, Max.
Good morning.
Did you sit in any thrones lately?
You know, I don't appreciate that. It was a rough moment for me, and as a matter of fact, I didn't. As a matter of fact,
I told you not to sit in it. I said don't sit in it, and you sat down in it. That's all I'm saying.
You listen.
That's all I'm saying.
What are you, my mother? That's right. Please don't hurt me. But you're not my mother. I'm gonna eat. Please don't hurt me.
Okay. Enjoy your food.
I just love Max's just innate fear of you.
I just imagine Alice is doing that, like, you know, one shoulder on the, you know, one elbow on the table, leaning over, looking over at him.
Yeah. And look, Dad, what would you like to do?
I will grab a few fruits, couple potatoes, and then walk back and give some to Penelope.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then I will take one of the potatoes and put it on the table, and then I will crush it.
Just
and
a
then,
big thump.
Yeah, And then, assuming when she looks startled at me, I just look at her and say, "Mashed potatoes." And then I eat the potato.
She's been very like apprehensive of just like talking to you up until now, or even approaching you. But you giving her food, she was kind of just eating with her hands prior. She's never really used utensils, so she's
I'm
just
not using utensils either.
Shoveling oatmeal into her mouth, and she sees that you smash the potato, gets very startled, and then once you say mashed potato and start eating, she just starts laughing. Just a very, like, adorable little child laugh.
I don't get the joke.
Just no smile.
No funny detected.
Marth kind of, like, looks around the room and just has, like, this nice feeling of just, like, thank God everything is actually coming together and everybody's kind of just, like, in the same room eating with one another. Like, breaking bread to him is, like, a big sign of just everybody kind of trusting one another. And so he gives like a just a little toast ding. He finds a glass and he kind of taps it with a fork, and he says, "All right, everybody, welcome and good morning. I hope you all got a good amount of sleep. It has been a long evening, especially for Max and I. It was an interesting evening for sure. I thought I would tell you before, but I didn't want to wake all of you. We were attacked last night. Bad news is we were attacked last night, but hear me out. We took care of them, and they're currently detained, so everybody is safe. Everybody, welcome Penelope." And he kind of gestures over to Penelope.
Welcome, Penelope.
She's just kind of
Am
like...
I the one that said it?
Said hi earlier.
Oh, God. Max is just like... Max has already seen her, so he's just like... Just still eating food, and Marth like goes... and Max is like, "Hello, Penelope."
Hello,
Penelope.
Penelope. Hard name.
And she laughs. She just loves the kind of simplicity of the way you kind of speak. And she's just like,
Called Pen, and then I continue just eating.
And Marth sets the glass down. He looks around and says, "So yes, we were indeed attacked last night. And I found out from our dear Penelope here that there are more children in a encampment nearby. They're being held captive, and apparently they were being brought one by one to Solyet Castle, and she would compensate the jailers, and, well, you kind of understand what happens next. But the good news is we can find out where this encampment is, thanks to Penelope and the currently locked up jailers. And it's right along the way to Halignor. We're heading south anyways, which is perfect. So if you're okay with it, then I would like to try to help these children that are locked up."
Yes.
And Max is just like, Max is like, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure." Pivot looks to Marth, gives him a nod, and says, "Yes, of course. You know that I'm always here for that." And
I think it is reasonable.
Marth is relieved to hear everybody so willing to go, and he kind of like does like a little shuffle with his foot on the ground and says, "The only problem is it is about an 8-day walk. It's quite far away. It's down in Bilms, and it would take us a while to get there. So we are going to need some provisions along the way, as we are currently running out of food. This is definitely not going to last us. The good news is I do know of a place relatively nearby that we can go to stock up on provisions. Granted that it's still being maintained and taken care of. Even if it is not being maintained and taken care of, I'm sure there's plenty of wild vegetables and fruits growing in the area that we can kind of scavenge. It was a beautiful place about 50 years ago, but I hope it still is. Verlight Gardens. And let's see, who would really know Verlight Gardens here? Thames, you've kind of been around the area. You've definitely passed it by on your way up.
Would it have been like? Is it an old place, or would it have been like one of those things like Thames was there whenever it was being like built?
This was an old tourist attraction. The largest botanical gardens in Petovia.
Okay. So I would have seen it like over, like what, 150 years. So I've kind of been stuck in the castle for about that long.
Yeah, definitely. It's been definitely a really, really long time. But when you did see it, it was in perfect shape, very well maintained. And Marth kind of like looks to the room again and says, "What do you guys think? I feel like that's a pretty solid plan. Get some provisions. We'll all head out together. Somebody is going to have to take care of Penelope here." And Penelope's like, "No, I want to go." And Marth, like, just kind of rubs his forehead and looks to her, and he says, "Listen, I can't let you go. It's so dangerous out there. God knows what's out there." And Penelope just kind of, like, bitterly looks down to the table and continues eating. And Max kind of, like, looks across the table to Marth, and he's just like, "Okay, but like, even then, it would take us, I don't know, it would take us hours. It would be like by the end of the day that we would reach Verlight. Like, how are we even supposed to get there? Like, it's, oh god, it's such a long walk. Like, I don't really want us to have to just travel there, grab a bunch of stuff, and then what? We don't even have, like, a carriage. Like, we don't have anything to transport this food." And Marth just gives a very, like, satisfied smile and takes the Book of Naturna out and slaps it on the table, and he says a quick enchantment. And as this enchantment is said, you feel everything... Ooh, you feel everything start to shake. Everything begins to shake, including yourselves. You feel just the tiles almost just breaking beneath this just momentous, almost just earthquake force. And before you kind of can rationalize what's going on, the shaking stops, and you feel the castle start to move. Just a giant lift into the air, and you start to feel the castle begin to move away. And Marth smiles and says, "Welcome to where we are going to be staying and traveling for the remainder of the journey."
Tim's is going to walk over to Marth and whisper and say, "If you break my handiwork, I break you. Deal?"
And Marth is just like, "Oh, yeah, deal, of course."
Glad we came to an arrangement here.
I'm gonna put all these back.
Boy, howdy, you just, you kind of get me on your side, and then you do shit like this that just makes me question everything.
Yes. You don't know why. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was like, this whole time, I'm like, okay, he's kind of convincing me this is okay. And then you're like, I pull out the book of the witch that ruined my life, and your life, and recite some words, and now we have a floating castle, and I'm like...
Just the anguish. And so you feel the castle just moving slowly but surely, much faster than should you kind of walk or run. And it feels pretty smooth as well. No more disastrous shaking, and everything kind of seems to still be intact. Like all the walls, like the structure, it all survived being uprooted out of the ground and transported through. Surprisingly, even the stairs that are very, very weak and hazardous. And before you know it, you've been traveling for maybe about 2-3 hours. You arrive in a new area. I'm actually, hold on, I'm not gonna... Oops. Perfect. And let me actually just drag everybody out here. Where is Mr. Marth?
Is that Marth Swords?
Murph Shorge? Real
Murph
Marth?
Swords?
The real Murph Shorge?
Murph Swords.
You step out of the castle and onto the ground and are met with just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful vision. There are trees throughout Verlight that look like it just caught fresh snow. But all the leaves are still on the trees, and it's very, very warm out. So people who have been outside in the winter would know that this is definitely not snow on the trees. But it seems that Verlight Gardens is still just wonderfully maintained. Everything, even like the trims on the hedges, on the bushes, everything just seems to still be the way it kind of used to be.
Who's taking care of the child?
And everybody has a bit of a Home Alone moment, and she just kind of like laughs, and she's like, "No, I'm here." She like hops out from behind a bush.
My God.
And like as you guys are kind of just admiring everything, Marth starts to slowly just kind of lose consciousness and wobble back and forth before he collapses to the ground. He seems completely drained and exhausted.
Okay. And then I just, like, put him over my shoulder.
All right, perfect. You put him over your shoulder. Max was like... Max kind of did the thing where, like, you don't really want to help somebody. Like, you don't want to make the effort. But once somebody else makes the effort, then you kind of, like, step forward and start to try to do it to look good. And he's just like, oh, well, yeah, thank you. Thank you for taking care of His Majesty.
I'm gonna blankly stare at him. And then keep walking.
Okay. Great. And Pivot sees Thames start to walk away with Marth. And Pivot says, maybe I should go along. You might have to travel without me just this one time. I need to make sure that the dark magic that Marth was using, it can be very, very dangerous. It might be too much for him. He's not really used to using any arcane, I wouldn't think, so my expertise in this might be necessary. I'll take care of him, and hopefully you guys will be okay on your own. And he looks to the party.
Well, do you want me to carry him back into the castle? I, quite frankly, don't think you can.
Yeah, it would be great if you could carry him back into the castle for sure. That would be wonderful.
All right.
And you start to carry him away, and as you kind of get to the steps, Pivot turns around and looks at Max, and he's like, "And you're gonna take my place." Hey, what do you mean I'm gonna take your place? You're gonna take my place. I'm sorry, but it's not just safe to be around an area like this that looks this nice, and we haven't seen anything yet. It's too suspicious. The party needs you. All hands on deck. Gives him like a little thumbs up, and he's just like, oh my god. No, oh my god.
Pivot. Lock the forge. All 5.
And Pivot's like, I'm way ahead of you. And he kind of just like walks ahead of you and just like runs right over to it and locks it up. And Penelope runs over to look down and just kind of like stands close to him and is like, I can go with you guys, right?
I protect.
And Max like looks over to you and he's like, I you know, when he said all hands on deck, like maybe not the child though. I just, it could be dangerous. Is that the kind of responsibility you would want? Because I definitely wouldn't want that.
Max, don't argue with him.
Yeah, maybe that's for the better. Huh, okay.
See, you do have some sense.
Perfect. You bring Marth into the castle and kind of just lay him on his bed. Pivot is going to be at his bedside, making sure that he kind of just has enough liquid. He's going to like grab him some water and sit by his side and check just to make sure that there's no crazy arcane energy or chaos going through his body. And Thames, do you do anything before you come back out?
Yes. I'm going to get like my like heavy smith's robe, or like I guess I'm trying to think of what it would be called. Apron.
Yep, an apron.
Yeah, just because it's kind of cold outside, and I don't feel like getting 8 diseases.
Perfect. You grab your apron.
Yeah, because I don't think I have a coat. That's the closest thing I have.
And it does the job well enough. It's not like super frigid out. It's probably in and around the degrees of Fahrenheit. Probably about like 50-55 degrees.
Okay.
So a light little jacket like that, a little apron jacket will do just fine for you.
Yeah, it's cold enough that it's in danger territory to not have anything.
And like as you come back outside, Max like sees you walk out with like the apron, and it like looks very comfortable around your body. And Max has a giant tear in his yellow rain jacket, and he just kind of like is trying to like tie it together and pin it, and it's just not even working. It's just flat, way open. His clothes are kind of like ripped as well, so just a little bit of his belly is kind of hanging out.
Yeah, I'm still in a tunic. Like,
Max.
Yeah, just in slave clothing, like. Yeah. What can I do for you?
You had, by my count, 10 hours, 21 minutes, and 27 seconds to ask me to repair that for you.
So, like, you wanna do that? Like,
No, that will take 3 hours.
yeah, but like, that's fine. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I love this thing more than anything in the world. I think you underestimate how much I love this thing. I sleep, I eat, I shits. I do everything with this, okay? When I get married, I'm wearing this to the wedding.
Don't hold your breath.
Oh, you mean Carly?
Hey! Come on now. What did you just say? And like he's like, shh, stop.
What? You looked happy.
I tell you what, I will fix it. If anyone else needs anything, look down. Would you like some clothes, armor, anything?
Look down, just kind of looks at himself. I don't know.
So, yes.
And like Max just like very buddy like walks up to you. He's like, yeah, he can get you like some brand new gear. Like you'll look great. You will look great, man.
If you say so.
Max, I'm on the verge of making your yellow coat pink.
What, I swear to God, you do not do that. It's just like one thing that he gets extremely defensive about. Like, surprisingly so.
Tim's is like, after meeting him yesterday, is just on his ass nonstop. Like, almost irrationally so.
He's like, everybody's punching back.
It's like the antithesis to his personality kind of person. So he's just like, okay, I must harass.
It's just a lazy bitch.
He asked for it, you know?
He really does put himself in all these situations that he just deserves to be in.
So if people are willing, Tim's will go back in and repair his coat, and I guess make some armor for look down.
All right, perfect. You guys arrive. It's probably about like 9 in the morning. You leave back into the Castle Thames. You disappear into the ether. And Max looks very pleased with himself. He still has like his shirt on, but his belly's just kind of popped out. And he definitely feels like naked without his raincoat on. So he's just like looking at everybody, making sure nobody's kind of just awkwardly staring at him or anything.
I don't know how to stare any other way.
Yeah, you're staring at him, and Penelope is just like... He's like, oh, whoa. Come on now.
And, I'll make Penelope a nice little, like, fur coat.
Perfect. And, do you want to do anything in the meantime? Anybody want to take, like, any, Here, this is kind of what you see. You see a gigantic kind of field ahead of you. I'll describe a couple of things. You see a hill with a tree on it that is actually a different color from the rest of the trees around the area. A maze off to the right. You see some houses off to your left. In the distance, you kind of spot... just like some vegetables or something that's growing in the ground relatively far away. And a fountain even further off with just like some pillars and kind of like a marble area. Forest off in the distance. But it seems like a very, very peaceful place. But you don't really spot or see anyone. It seems like it's for what it's worth a ghost town.
I actually kind of awkwardly, not like self-aware awkwardly, but just awkwardly walk up to Alice and says, "My name, look down," and I reach my hand out to shake hers.
I reach my hand out and I say, "Hi, look down. I'm Alice."
I look down and I say hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This familiar to you?
Gets really close.
What's up with this place?
No.
And like Max kind of knows that like you're not asking him at all, but he's like, yeah, he used to come here with my mom.
Max, I want to know about that girl.
Okay, we're not talking about her.
Friend has been here before.
No, she doesn't really know about me yet. Is the thing?
No.
Yeah.
You.
Me, yes, with my yes, with mama. Okay, but not that kind of mama. Okay, but yes, I have been here.
What?
Sure. What?
What?
What? What did you say?
What did you say?
Huh? and he's just like, he kind of like turns out, he like looks out into the fields, like, yeah, I've been here quite a few times. It's really pretty. Actually, it looks strangely the same as it ever was. Huh. I wonder if the headmaster kind of still works here. It's so strange that it looks this nice.
Why strange?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like, this place has probably been abandoned for God knows how many years. Just to see the trees and everything this healthy and everything's trimmed and it's a sunshiny day and the grass is all cut. Like, it's just bizarre. There's nobody here, but nature's still going, as it usually is. I don't know. I guess it's just a little weird, but God knows.
I mean, if you're calling it weird, it must mean something.
Oh, yeah, what does that mean?
Nothing.
Whatever. All right, you know what? I'm going to go, like, fucking sit on a bench or something. He starts just, like, he, like, kind of just wants to be in vision still, so he's going to just walk over to this bench here. And sit
wait.
down. Friend wait.
Is he sitting passive aggressively?
Oh yeah, most definitely. He's sitting very, very passive aggressively.
Do locks come out and hold him in the bench?
No, nothing like that. Fortunately enough. Oh,
okay.
Shoot. I think. Okay, perfect. I thought it froze for a second. I was about to cry myself to sleep tonight. But yeah, he just kind of like sits on the bench and like takes out his playing cards and just starts setting him on the bench and playing a card game with himself.
He different.
Yeah.
I agree.
And Penelope like is so happy to be outside and just like not being told where to go that she kind of just like looks up to the tree up here and sees that there's a swing and she runs up, starts running up the hill.
I follow after her.
Perfect.
I also follow after
Like,
her.
yeah, I don't run necessarily, but like I walk because I am just like I head on a swivel because I don't know what the heck's out here. This is my first time outside in my life.
Oh, definitely. And just like it's not super bright out just yet. It's still kind of morning. The sun is starting to kind of like come out, and
would I even know what the sun is?
No, actually, you wouldn't. You wouldn't
Shit.
actually know what the sun is because you've been like underground. It's literally like the most Fallout of all Fallout situations. So yeah, you actually have never seen the sun.
Then on our way up, I would be like, Alice, what big light Like I'm like covering my eyes as like a
The the sun,
sun.
the thing in the sky.
I just point at it.
Okay, yeah, it's the sun. You've never seen the sun?
No.
Huh. Well, that's the sun. It's a big fat star, and it just chills out in the sky, and it goes around.
Hurts.
Sometimes.
No. Can't see.
Oh. Do you have sunscreen?
No. Like I like look at like all the stuff on my body and I was like, no. Should I?
Maybe. We'll see. I don't have any. I was just
Oh.
asking.
Pen. You have sunscreen.
No. And she like points to her pocket and she pulls out like this this very, very light just kind of like black bandana, and she like hands it to you and she's like, here.
What do with this?
And she like kind of points to the ground, trying to like get your attention to like sit down so she can reach up to you. She's like reaching up to you a little bit.
Okay. I sit.
And she grabs the bandana and very like haphazardly ties it to the back of your head, and it just falls off. And she's like, wait. And she grabs it again, and she ties it to the back, this time a little bit more sturdy, and it goes just over your eyes. And it gives you some just wonderful relief from the just blaringly bright light that is coming from the sky.
So I'm basically blindfolded right now?
Yeah, you can slightly see. Like, your vision's obscured, but it feels good.
Mm. Thank you.
And Penelope, like, giggles, and she runs over to the rope swing, and sees it has been completely destroyed. It is on the ground, detached from the tree, and she just kind of, like, sighs and, like, sits down.
What this?
Well, it's... You put it up? And she, like, points to the tree, and she's like, and you swing.
Can I figure out how the heck to put a swing together with that information?
She kind of, like, beckons you to come closer.
Okay. I walk, and I look at Alice, and I'm just like, help?
Because you would have no
Walk
idea.
over.
Yeah.
I walk over and I say, hold this string, and I look down one side of the rope, and I take the other one and try to flick it around a branch.
And so you're trying to throw it up across the branch.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just give me like a strength check, a strength roll.
A 13.
Perfect. Yeah. It's not super high up. You just kind of toss the rope right around the tree branch, and it comes back down. And Penelope is like trying to practice her knots on the other like rope as you're doing this. She's just like trying to tie knots and just like humming to herself.
Do you even want to put the swing up? It seems like you're having fun tying knots.
Swing. I want to swing.
Okay. Well then. And then I try to do the other side as well.
Perfect. So you take the knot out of her hand. She seems very pleased with herself. It's an extremely loose knot, but she managed to actually tie it around and tug it just like a little bit. Go ahead and roll a one more strength check.
This was a 2.
Oh God! You throw it and it's about to like go up around the branch, but it hits the top, or sorry, it hits the bottom of the branch and comes crashing back down and kind of just bonks Penelope in the head. And she's just like, it's one of those situations where it didn't hurt her, but she's a young child, so anything that seems strange just upsets her greatly, and she just starts crying.
Oh my gosh. Don't cry. Did it hurt? But did it hurt? Are you in pain? Then why are you crying?
And she points back up to the tree and the rope. She says, "Swing, swing."
You can try again.
I put my hand out to take the rope.
I give you the rope.
I try to like jump and climb up the tree to get to the branch to tie it off there.
All right, perfect. Roll a strength check to see if you can kind of just climb up the tree.
Uh-huh. 19.
Yes, almost like a natural. You kind of just take to the tree, and it feels really good. Like you haven't like ever just really just climbed something like this in your life, and you feel like the hard bark just kind of scratch against your arms as you climb up this tree. And as you climb up this tree, go ahead and roll an observation check for me.
Hey. 5.
5. You notice on the outside of the tree that there is a little shape carved into the tree. Something that you've never really seen before, but it is in the shape of a bell. and you, I'm not entirely sure what you would necessarily even think of that.
Do it. I would know what a bell is, right?
Would you? Yeah, actually, you know what? Sure. I think that you probably would know what a bell is.
Yeah, I assume that somebody in the castle would be obnoxious enough to have one.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
And while I'm up there, harboring of bell. Why?
And Penelope like sees that there's like a little carving just a little ways up of a bell, and it's very, very just well carved. A lot of detail went into it. And she's also actually going to roll an observation.
Roll better than a 2.
Let's see what her stats are. She rolls a 19. I think it's +1 for her modifier too. And she looks and sees the bell. It's just in great detail, and then under it, she sees a hole, like a little opening in the tree, and out of the hole is peeking a little doll, and she like kind of like claps her hands and points up to the doll, and kind of like goes up on her tiptoes and says, "There."
I look over as I've never tied a knot in my life, I just realized.
You kind of saw her like make a knot, so you can kind of
copy it.
Yeah, go ahead and try to copy it. Just roll like a dex check.
Nope. That's a 4.
Yeah, you kind of watched her do it, but just in the way that she kind of just couldn't tie a knot because she's inexperienced and just too weak to kind of pull it together. You're just completely inexperienced with pulling or just making these things. So you thought you followed the process, but you just kind of flop the rope up.
Alice. What do?
Oh my gosh.
She kind of like walks. Penelope walks up to you and like tugs on your coat a little bit, and then like points up to the tree.
Okay. What? Here.
Please.
To tie it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold this, and then I give her Steven.
And Steven just like crawls onto her shoulder, and like Penelope has never really seen like just small animals be so cute before. So she starts like kind of just doing that aggressive pat on this rat, this poor little baby rat, and you can see that he's just very unhappy with it.
Don't bite, Steven. Don't bite. You can nibble, baby. And then I tried to do like the adult thing with kids, and I go like, no, nice, nice, and I take her hand and just pet him nicely. See, nice, nice, no, not hard, nice.
And finally,
He'll
she
bite
kind of gets like the groove of how you're supposed to pet an animal, and she just like starts giggling to herself.
Perfect, great. Otherwise, we would have had to figure out how to treat rabies. Okay, and then I want to try to get up there to tie it.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
A 12.
A 12 will do. Yep. You start kind of climbing up the tree. You lose your footing at one part, but you're able to kind of grab back onto the tree and make your way up to look down.
Okay, so can I have that? Can you move over a little?
I like scooch over as far as I can and hand you the rope.
Okay, thank you. And then I tie it, and can I look around and see what else is there?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the branches?
So you kind of just look around. The tree is beautiful. It's just this wonderful blue and purple just leaves all over the place. Very, very pretty. And the only other thing that you kind of see that's out of the ordinary is the bell that's carved into the tree, as well as the hole with a little doll sticking out of it.
Why is there a little doll in there?
What?
There's a little doll over there in that hole. It's weird.
I clamber over to it.
And look down. You've actually seen something similar to this in the dungeons before. There were quite a few prisoners that had dolls that they brought with them that kind of got left in the prison cells once they were taken away up to Solyet. So you've definitely seen dolls brought into the dungeon in the past, but this one looks a little bit different. There are strings attached to the top and to the arms, as well as to the back of the legs, and a little just wooden cross at the top of it.
Weird. I try to reach for the doll.
You grab. It's like just a little bit far away. So go ahead and roll a dexterity check, just to make sure that you're able to grab it without falling.
20, dirty 20.
Oh, perfect. So it's relatively far away. You kind of just inch off the branch, and you can feel yourself kind of start to slip, and you fall. You grab yourself with one arm and grab the doll and swing back up onto the branch. And you can see, Alice, that it is indeed a puppet.
Oh. Well, that makes even less sense. Why is there a puppet in a hole in a tree?
At the bottom of the sea.
The bottom of the sea with a broken swing.
And as you guys are up in the tree here, Thames is going to make his way back to the field to see Maxwell still sitting and playing cards by himself, and Alice, as well as look down up in a tree together with Penelope, like clapping her hands, like with a rat on her shoulder. Welcome back, Mr. Thames. I think you might be taking a little piss break.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's okay though.
It's okay.
All he has to know is that he's seeing everybody.
He said BRB.
Oh, no problem. So I forgot. Did you tie the knot yet?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the swing is up. You have the puppet in your hands, and Penelope is about as happy as can be. She kind of sits on the very haphazard plank that is hooked up to the ropes and starts swinging along, and it is like just enough to kind of support her weight. It's like creaking as she's kind of swinging back and forth with with Stevens, her little rat friend, that's just kind of like and Penelope as just kind of like swings back and forth for a little bit before she kind of like stops and like looks up and sees that you have like the doll, and like looks up to Alice and says, Can I?
No.
But okay.
I want to play with it.
Okay.
I hand it to Alice.
And I start playing with it. And I ask for Steven back. And I put him on the floor and I start chasing Steven.
Chasing
With the
Steven
puppet.
with the puppet. Oh god. And Steven knows it's like a joke, so he kind of just like is just running around in a circle, just like and Penelope thinks it's the funniest shit she's ever seen in her life. She's like having the time of her life, just swinging back and forth on a broken ass swing, and seeing you chase around a rat with a puppet.
Could I try to sneak around and try to scare Max with the puppet?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll a stealth check. And I'm gonna have him roll a general observation check here.
Also, just as like just as an aside, I'm still just chilling in the tree.
Perfect. How are you feeling up in that tree?
I'm just kind of sitting and like looking at how expansive everything is, because like, you know, my life has been in this giant, you know, or in this castle, in a small part of a decent sized castle. Now I'm seeing this open wide world, and I just helped bring joy to a child for the first time.
And it is about a 10 out of 10 day. Like it's a little bit cooler, but not anything that you're like not used to. Just whether it's between experiments or just the natural temperature in the dungeons, because it is cooler there. So this feels great to you, just like kind of the sun on your skin, and just a light breeze going through like a very just pretty springtime day. What did you roll for your stealth check? Sorry.
15.
15. Max rolled a 3. You absolutely sneak up on him. And how would you like to do this?
I'm gonna try and just tap him on the shoulder, hide the puppet. And as he looks around, confused, tap him on the other shoulder.
Hey, what? Hey, oh my God, what the fuck is that? And he kind of just like kicks himself backwards off the bench in probably the most acrobatic thing you've ever seen him do in his life. And, like, he comes crashing down with his feet flying up into the air. His cards kind of go flying a little bit. He starts, like, collecting them in a panic and putting them back in the pack. And he says, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? It is not funny. Okay, maybe just a little bit, but not to me. Do you want to play some cards?
I really don't. I just wanted to scare you.
Oh, all right. he sits on the other bench and makes sure to like watch you walk away before he opens up his pack.
Oh, what time do you think
back.
Tim's will be finished with the
He's already
the
out.
foraging?
Yep.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, unfortunately came back a little bit after you left.
I see.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Out of sync. So I guess first things first, I'll walk over to Penelope and look down with gifts.
Perfect.
First thing, so put the coat on Penelope.
All right.
It is cold. If your immune system's anything like mine, you'll probably catch 8 diseases without it. So keep it on.
And Penelope like has never gotten a gift in her life, so she kind of just like looks up to look down to see if it's okay for her to grab it.
I just kind of stare at her. Like I don't know how to. I'm not trying to give affirmation or anything. I just am confused why she's looking.
And she like looks back to
Actually-
Thames and goes, mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
I look at Thames and I say, "Thank you."
I haven't given you your gift yet, but you're welcome. Anyways, here is your gift. Aluminum armor. Do you know how to put it on?
I drop out of the tree. No.
Okay. So, it'll like show like this strap goes here and this strap goes there. It's not. It's like not like plate armor. It's more like chain with some pieces of plates.
Yeah, no, definitely. How much armor is it for that again?
How many ingots?
No, sorry. What's the protection?
Oh, you mean
on it?
It's 10.
10. Okay, perfect. So you got 10 armor, Mr. Lookdown.
Damn.
Also, can I repair the two damage done to my armor while I was in there?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And say, right. I would take it off before you sleep. Not very comfortable.
Yeah, I kind of shrug at that one.
Unless you're me. But my case is special. Anyways, right, that should protect you. And so long as you do not take it off, it should keep you warm. If you take it off, then it actually may make you colder. It's just how temperature works. Right, I have to go get this fucking raincoat back to the weird one.
And like as you kind of walk away, you see Penelope take the coat and instead of putting it on, she hangs it around her neck like a cape and continues to swing back and forth.
Whenever he sees that, he'll yell, "Put your arms into the holes."
No! She just keeps swinging.
And it kind of looks at Tim's look down like, do something, but then keeps walking.
Perfect.
I literally just say, "Looks good."
and she's just like, "Thank you."
I sit underneath the tree as she just swings.
Perfect. Continue swinging. You approach Maxwell. How are you walking? Are you just kind of walking regularly?
I'm walking regularly. Like I'm also looking like I don't want to do this.
Are you going to approach from the back or from the front, like the pave?
I'll approach from the back. Yeah, but I'll be like mumbling the entire time, like, last 30 and the best blacksmith in the world. You're fixing a fucking raincoat.
And like, Max like hears you coming, and he's like, oh my God, can any of you just approach me from the front? Oh my God.
I'm not stealthy, you fucking half-wit. Take the coat.
And he takes the coat, and he sees that you've done like this kind of masterful crafting job. Like he can tell that your handiwork is just very, very good. And he's like, oh my God, it looks better than new. Holy shit. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me.
Tim's kind of looks at him like, does he realize what I just called him? and then like, it's like, you know what? Fair enough. You're welcome. No, just to be clear, Alice, you didn't want anything? Or did you?
No.
Okay.
And as you're talking, Thames, you're kind of facing in the direction. Just roll an observation check really quickly for me.
Okay, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I'm dead average on these. Yep.
What do we got?
We got an 11.
Perfect. Even that is actually totally fine. You see something just out of your peripheral vision. You see over by this house over here, a young girl picking up vegetables out of the garden.
Like in his head, he's thinking, should I go like ask for some? But like, you know, I got poison, food poisoning.
And like Max kind of like looks at you and he's like, you doing all right?
I move slowly.
You what? And he's just like, whatever. And he kind of like goes to like look back down at his cards. And actually, I'm gonna have him roll an observation check too, because he's doing that. He rolls a 9. He doesn't really like see anything.
Tim's eventually is just gonna, and like, wait, why am I? There's no one here. She is. And then like Tim's will walk over to ask a question.
Okay. How are you? You're just walking normally?
Yeah.
Do you, as you kind of approach, do you call out to her, or are you just trying to like get as close as possible?
He'll get like 15 feet away.
Okay, perfect.
And say, why is there no one else here? Shouldn't this place be fully staffed?
She immediately turns to you and goes, ah! And screams out, monster, 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 monster! And she hightails it back into her house and disappears into her house.
Well, some things don't change.
And this is definitely loud enough for kind of everybody in the area to hear. It was a very loud scream.
Well,
I just kind of look over. I don't really do anything other than see if I see anything.
Well, I tried.
Max, like, kind of looks over to, Thames, and he's just like, you, that come from you, buddy?
There was some girls picking vegetables, and I fell on.
Was she cute? Wait, there was a
was-
girl here.
What?
Max.
Yeah.
Before you continue that statement, know that your train of thought is a felony.
Oh, what? A little girl?
Yes.
Why is there a little girl here?
If they were of age, I would have said a woman.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. That makes sense. My bad. So, what is a little girl doing here?
That was my question. But you see, I had some hope that I wouldn't be seen as monster, but here we are.
Yeah, maybe next time leave the approaching to like a master, like myself.
If I left it to you, you would be on felony charges.
Oh! I bet you think it's real funny, huh? Yeah. Just poke fun at Max. Just make fun of fucking Max. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Was not joke.
And he like kind of like walks past you to like look around, and he sees like these vegetables in the garden are like very, very well taken care of, very well watered, and are just about ready to harvest. And he kind of like looks around and sees that there's literally nobody else here. And he's like, that's a bit strange, I guess.
Right, Alice, we need you to talk to the girl that lives in this house. According to her, I am a monster and he is a creeper, so...
She didn't even have to see him to say that he's a creeper. Never mind. Sure. In that house?
And he'll point to the one that's on the map to the left, but right directly in front of him.
Okay.
Perfect. Do you kind of like approach the house?
Yeah.
As you kind of walk up to the house, you see that she's kind of like looking at you from the window, and she's like, "What do you want?"
I wanna know your secret to keeping such a great garden, and also why you're here.
And she like, you can kind of see her just thinking about it, and she's like, you're trying to trick me.
I have no reason to trick you. I'm curious.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
I'm gonna slowly move behind the hut that I'm next to, so that way she doesn't come out immediately, see me, and then run away again.
Perfect. And then Max
I
like
got an 11.
knows none the different. An 11. She's like, no, you're here with that big monster. Monsters have been coming all around lately, and you're not tricking me. I know you're coming for me.
I mean, I know he's a really big guy, but that's not very fair for you to judge him like that.
It wasn't fair for them to take my grandpa.
That's a little heavy for me. Huh.
And Max is like, okay. Let me give it a shot here. And he kind of like just comes up behind you and like gives her like, as like almost as genuine as possible. With him not even being close to meaning this, it's the most deceptive thing ever, because he's just like, all right, I gotta do this. He tries to look as charming as possible and waves. He's like, hi, listen, we're just a couple of humans. There's no monsters here, okay? We're here with a...
You're lying to her.
Oh, okay, shh. I got this, okay? Look, I brought
No.
cards. Alice, so help me God. Just
No.
this one
I have
time
this
in my life.
puppet.
And you
If you
show
wanna see a
her
puppet show?
you show her the puppet, and she says, "Where did you get that?"
Was I not supposed to grab it
"That's mine. Where did you get it?"
from the tree over there with the not so broken anymore swing?
She says, "Put it down on the ground."
I will if you come out.
"Okay, but put it on the ground first."
Okay, but you have to come out and you have to see that our friend over there is not just some big scary monster.
Okay. Yeah.
Hearing this, I will once again walk back out from behind the hut.
Dun, 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 dun. And as you place the puppet on the ground, she kind of like waits for a second or two to make sure that you're not going to pick it up. And she opens up the door like very, very slowly and kind of like peeks her head out just to make sure that you're not trying any sudden actions to grab her or anything. And she takes a step outside and reaches
Then I
down for a
grab her.
puppet. You grab her?
And then I grab her.
Okay. She screams. Go ahead and roll. Oh boy. Go ahead and roll a dex. A dex check.
It's a 15.
Oh boy. Oh no. Yeah, you grab her. And she's screaming. She's, "Let go of me! Let go of me! No, I knew you were monsters! Please, please, put me down!"
There's no need to hold her, is there?
Gonna take me like my grand. Please don't hurt me. I'm just
See, she
scared.
has trauma, so therefore we will just hold her. I mean no harm. I mean, I just really don't want you to go back in that house, and I don't want to run this because now I don't have a puppet.
Well, I may not be an expert on trauma.
Yeah, grabbing
Maybe.
children is usually not the way to go.
I don't have any more leverage, so therefore we will grab her, or I'll grab her.
Okay, child, know that this is done not to harm you.
She is weeping, by the way. She is kicking and crying and weeping. She's horrified.
Right, Max, maybe she would respond better if you were not close.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm not even... Am I scaring you? And she's not answering. She's just flailing. Like, she does not have, like, the time of the day to deal with, like, the bickering. So she's just like, oh, whatever.
I want to take her, and then I pick up the puppet, and we're going to walk over to the swing tree.
Okay, perfect. You kind of, you walk over to the swing tree. And Max, like, doesn't follow.
Tim's just gonna, like, follow, but from a distance, in case he needs to play, like, interception.
Hi. My name's Tim's. Hey, perfect. You bring her over to the tree.
You know, I'm grabbing you, and I'm just like, this is a kidnap. It's not a kidnapping. Your home's right over there. This is a tree, and this is where your doll was. I don't see it as a kidnapping.
It's literally a kid, though.
It's not a kidnapping, though. Like, she could run home. if
She
I
wasn't
down.
sleeping. It's not kidnapping.
She wasn't napping.
Okay, but to be fair, most kids can run home if you don't have them captured.
She wasn't napping. This is what we call not tough love, just quick to the point. I don't want to earn trust right now. I just want to see what's up. I want to know about her missing grandpa.
You're gonna ask her about her missing grandpa?
I'll be like, see, look, we fixed this swing. I gave you your thing, your little puppet. I scared Max with it. That should bring you great joy. Even though you don't know him, it brings me great joy. So I figure that brings most people great joy, knowing that he's scared.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me and do it at disadvantage. Roll it twice and give me the lower number.
Okay. One would be a 17, and the other one would be a 21, so it would be 17.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
She somehow kind of begins to calm down a little bit, seeing that you brought her to the place where you found the doll, and she sees that there's another girl kind of sitting on the swing set, and she feels kind of more at peace after after that, seeming as though the other persons that she's seen has been a giant Turliad monster, a creepy man in a yellow fucking jacket, a kind of deranged looking man in shackles sitting by a tree, and the one who's probably the most normal looking out of all of them grabbed her and forced her to like communicate. But seeing the child, she calms down a little bit, and she says, You're not here to hurt me?
No. I don't even know who you are.
I'm Colette. Colette Stippens. My grandfather took care of the gardens, and then monsters came for him. They come every night. They come every night, and they took him. And now I'm all by myself. And I'm trying to take care of the place like Grandpa did, but I'm scared.
Why did they take him? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. They come around the same time every night, and
So they just grabbed him.
they make a lot of noise, and they dragged him off to the...
And she's just like weeping to herself, just saying things that are completely like it all just sounds like gibberish because she's just kind of bubbling over her words.
I would at this point stand up and walk over and just be like, who this?
A little gardener child, a Cabbage Patch Kid, if you will. She
That was
lives in
good.
hut.
she was very Cabbage Patch like.
That is hilarious.
And she kind of like tries to make as much. Are you still holding it, right?
Yes.
She kind of like tries to like inch away in your arms from him. She's just very, very intimidated by him. And she says, I'm
Colette Stippens.
You said it just perfectly fine to me. You could say it just perfectly fine to them.
I put my hand out and say, I'm looked down.
And like as like a handshake gesture.
Yeah.
She nervously kind of reaches her hand out and places it on yours, kind of expecting you to grab her hand.
I just shake it.
Perfect. You shake her hand, and it does make her feel a little bit better. And she begins breathing a little bit more calmly, slows her pace down, and she says,
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm scared. Like I said, there's monsters here. And they're not during the day, but the same time every night. Like I said, they took my grandpa and they dragged him off to the woods. And I even one day tried to look in the woods, but I couldn't find him. But every single night, around the same time, after I'm done watering the plants, I go back inside, and I always hear them outside. They bang on the walls. They scare me.
And I kind of, I was gonna say I kind of turn around and just wave to Thames to come over. Not Max though.
Oh, I can approach now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kill.
Hello, child. Oh, sorry. Hello, child. 2.
Child 2 Electric Boogaloo. And
My name is Tim's.
she sees that you like are like, you know, kind of cautiously approaching and talking in just like a very calming tone. And she like nods her head, doesn't say anything to you, but nods her head, and she says, What are you?"
I am a Turliad. If you want to know what we basically are, a mixture of turtles, lizards, and humans.
And Penelope like smiles and she says, "Lizards!" And just like kind of just happily is still swinging back and forth. And Colette goes, "Okay, I want to."
No. My people used to be more common, but you see, I am very old. I was around when they were around, but the others are not here anymore. Okay?
Oh, so you're the only one left too?
Yes.
Oh, just like you.
Okay.
I kind of give like stink eye to Alice for that.
And Colette is she like isn't struggling anymore. And she kind of looks around to everybody and says,
Do you want to go inside my house? I want to go home.
That would be very nice.
And
However, before that, I do have a question for my friend look down here.
I look down.
Would you like me to take the shackles off? I think they scare people.
I kind of lift up my hands to look at both of them. No.
Okay.
Also, I don't look down. He said that he addressed me, not actually said it out loud.
So, not even the one on your neck.
and
Maybe.
Serviad kind of like pops out. He's kind of like sitting on top of like a tree branch, swings below, and kind of walks up to you, and he's like, "Well, champ, I mean, it's entirely up to you, but I don't know. I think it's a nice look for us, and I feel like it kind of represents you pretty well." And he kind of just gestures to you and disappears again.
I'll get later.
Okay. One more. Alright, does the armor hurt? If so, then I fitted it incorrectly. But I had to guess how, what your size is for.
I just kind of like move limbs around, like lift like an arm up. Feel fine.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
Girl 2. Yes, we can go into your house, if you would let us.
Girl too.
And she says, "My name's Colette."
Okay, Colette. We can go into your house if you would let us.
And she
Pen.
what? Oh, you call that the pen? And she says,
No,
"What?"
I yell for pen. Yeah. New friend.
And she like kind of like hops off the swing and like looks at her. And Colette, you can tell, is probably about like 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years older than Penelope, and she looks like really, really shy because she's kind of the older kid, so she's kind of just like looking up to her, and she kind of sneaks up to look down and hides behind him.
Penelope, if you put your coat on normally and you behave, I will make you delicacy that I learned from my parents. Snake soup. Everyone's a critic.
Penelope's just like, it sounds gross. And then Colette smiles and like looks over to Penelope. She's like, actually, it's really pretty good. And Penelope puts her coat on. She's like, okay. And kind of slides her arms in.
Thank you.
And as you come back over here, Max is Max is over by the well. He's splashing water on his face and kind of just cleaning off his face and his beard and stuff, and getting a couple of drinks of water.
And I'll say, Max, be weird and I throw you out.
What? Whoa, whatever. Okay, yeah, I mean, just fine. Yeah, I'll try to be civil. He puts in air quotes, and he like looks over at Thames. He's like, "Is it okay if I like come closer now?"
No.
Yes, you may breathe if you wish.
All right, I'm on my way. And like he walks up next to Thames and like takes his playing cards out. And he's like, "You want to play some cards?" The girl.
Is it? Okay.
And she's just like, "No, I don't think so."
I begin to start picking Max up.
Yeah. Do you just kind of grab him with one arm, or you grab him with both?
I kind of just cinch my arms around his waist.
And you just feel like just some blubbery weight kind of just flap against your arm as you're grabbing him. He's like, oh God, I can't breathe.
I will be returning shortly.
You bring you back to the castle.
I said I would throw him out, so in which case I'm gonna go bring him over to the swing, and I'm gonna use the rope there.
You're gonna use the rope there? Wait, are you tying him up?
To the swing set, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, the rope is currently tied to the tree, like for the swing set. Do you want to try to pull it down?
Is there like rope that's like hanging off the side as like extra? No.
Sure. You know what? For the sake of it, absolutely.
Okay, then I'll just like, I'll be like, okay, this rope goes on this wrist, and this wrist goes under that leg.
No, you do not have to do this.
I literally said, "Do not be weird, or you get thrown out." And you did.
I'm not. I'm trying to be welcoming. Listen, I'm being charming.
You're asking a 9-year-old if they want to play cards.
I'm trying to calm them down.
Right, stay here. Not that you have much of a choice. And we will be back for you. I promise.
Oh yeah, okay. And he like tries to like wiggle the cards out of his pocket and starts trying to like play a card game by himself while tied up.
Have fun, I guess.
When Thames comes back, I do go, where is friend?
He's swinging on the swing set.
Ah.
Having fun.
Not again! You hear from across the valley, realizing that he's been tied up once more. And Colette like looks over to Thames and says thank you. And are you still holding on to her, or you let her go, Alice?
I'm gonna let her go, but I'm gonna put her right down next to Thames, and I say, "See, you guys have more in common than me and you have in common. So be nice." And then I put her down.
And Colette looks back and forth to each of you and says, "Okay, I'm sorry. I was scared." And she very casually, just to make sure that you know that she's not running away, walks to the door and opens it up for you guys. And Penelope kind of tugs on Lookdown's like rags.
What is it?
And she points towards the house and goes,
Okay.
And she kind of just hugs the side of you again and just hiding behind you.
Just imagine at some point she's clinging onto my leg and I'm just walking forward.
Gong, gong. Just monkeying onto your leg.
Pretty much.
I like how only one member of the entire party has any skill whatsoever with interacting with children.
And they don't know what the fuck they're doing? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Who would like to take the lead into the house and follow her?
How tall is the doorway?
The doorway you do kind of have to crouch through. It's probably about 7 foot.
Okay. Then I guess I'd go last.
Okay.
Just in case I get stuck in the door.
I guess I'll go first.
And yeah, Penelope kind of just latches onto your leg as you kind of just drag. And you enter the household. And Alice, would you like to go next?
Yeah.
Perfect. And Lookdown follows behind. And let me open this bad boy up here. You go into the house. Do you like this very tranquil music?
It's very nice.
Sorry, everything's got to load in. All this high-tech technology these days. And Max isn't here. Let's see. Where is Penelope? There she is.
Max is hanging out.
Max is chilling. You walk into the house, and it seems very, very well decorated. No dust accumulated. It looks like she's been kind of cleaning the house by herself and making sure everything is nice and tidy. Across the room, you see a little fireplace lit up with a small fire and a bundle of sticks, a piano in the room, as well as just a nice couch. You can tell whoever lives here definitely has a decent amount of money. Just because you can't see it, it's a little bit dark for you. Off to your left is a door. Up here is a door as well, up into the upper left. Up here is a door, and there's 2 doors off to the right. And Colette kind of walks over to Thames and looks at you guys and says, "Are you guys hungry?"
I ate a bunch of potatoes earlier, but...
And go ahead and roll a con check. Con saving throw.
Oh boy. Keen?
Yep.
-7.
My God.
Oh no!
My goodness.
You, as you are saying these words, you're reminding yourself, just mentally, of the raw potato that you ate earlier, and it makes you incredibly sick because your stomach was not feeling well, and you just vomit all over the floor, and to the point where Penelope has to back up that there's so much just coating the ground. And she's just like, "Eh!"
Yep, that was the potatoes. I'll clean that up. My bad.
And she like points off to the left over here and says, "The bathroom's over there. If you want to grab a rag."
Okay, will do.
Perfect. So you head off towards the bathroom here, and you enter into the bathroom. Nothing too sophisticated about the bathroom. You have your nice little toilet situation set up here with a bucket underneath it. And under the sink here, you see a small cabinet.
I'll open the cabinet.
You find a couple of rags in the cabinet, as well as like some soaps.
I'll take 2 rags and I'll wet one of them.
Perfect. You wet the rags, and as you kind of walk to the door that you came out of, you see a door, a very old, kind of shabby-looking door that doesn't look as clean as the rest of the house. Up above here.
Yeah, Thames has always kind of been raised with the courtesy that if the host doesn't like tell you you can go in a room, you don't go in that room. So he'll just be like, "Oh, okay."
Perfect. And you come back out with the rags, and I'm assuming you probably just go straight down to cleaning here.
Yep.
And Colette looks to the rest of the party, and she says, "Is anybody else hungry? Because I can make you sandwiches." Sandwiches.
What kind of sandwiches?
I can make a lot of different stuff. Here, follow me to the kitchen. And she kind of like goes up to the store over here.
His house is massive.
It's a very big house. Yep.
Very
Was not
deceptive.
expecting this.
Very deceptive of the map.
Yeah, it does look small. On the, yeah, exactly. Do you follow Colette up to here? Or do you decide to stay where you are? And she kind of like sees that you're not immediately following, and she's like, "You said that I should trust you, but why don't you trust me?"
Thames will kind of hurry up with the cleaning because the prospect of food, now that his stomach contents are empty, sounds very good.
Perfect. And she sees...
If you come out with multiple rags, look down will actually help you as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And Penelope... Penelope, in very smart child fashion, grabs like the edge of her coat and kind of tries to use it to clean up some of the vomit.
Thames looks mortified.
Oh!
But doesn't say anything and says, "Remember, leave your coat at the door. It's only polite."
And she kind of like mimics your voice, not in like a mean way, but in a very childish way. She's leave your dirty coat at the door. And she takes it off and she plops it right on top of this box.
I immediately pick it up and put it in the water tub.
Perfect. Put it in the water tub. And Colette,
let it soak.
Colette is like watching you guys just do this and just like very like awkwardly like twirling her fingers and feeling very, very cautious that nobody is like kind of trying to, that she let strangers into her house, but nobody is like following what she's saying in her own domain. And that makes her extremely uncomfortable.
To be fair, Thames is trying to, but a series of events have happened.
So
I
she
don't know etiquette.
So she says, like, "Are you coming or not? Because if you're not, I would ask you to leave."
He'll leave the coat to soak.
Perfect. So you come back into the room and hear that.
Right, okay. I'll go.
She sees that you follow, and that's kind of just enough for her to go into the kitchen. She's happy enough with that, and kind of makes her way in.
I'd be following behind Thames.
Perfect.
With Penelope on your leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, she reattaches to your leg like a little monkey. All right.
Also, Alice had to step away.
Oh, no problem. You all step into the room except for Alice, who's kind of just looking around the room at the moment. Doesn't necessarily trust. And Colette says, "Welcome to my kitchen. I have everything here. I got vegetables, I got fruits, I got grains. I could make you pretty much anything if you want." Let me tidy it up so you can see everything here. Brush and vision. Give me that sweet, sweet reveal tool. Make it big. Yeet. It's actually funny because the tokens make better reveal tools than the actual reveal tool do. You can just grab a token and swing it around and it just reveals things more effectively. And as you kind of like walk in, you see this gigantic marble table with a very, very nice tile, like stone tile flooring. And there is food everywhere. You can definitely see that she's been living alone for a very long time, but she's done a really good job at just preserving the food in general. So like you see like tomatoes in cans, like sealed up in like little mason jars, and like grain in grain sacks. And she's even pickling things.
This marble. Very fine craftsmanship. Who made it?
Thank you. My grandpa's boss took care of the place. It got built before I was even born, so I don't know.
And she's like, but anyways, and she kind of like hops up onto the table, like very giddy. She's like, "Can I make you a sandwich?"
I will take a pepper and tomato and potato sandwich, please.
And she's just like, she kind of like arches her eyebrow a little bit, and she's just like, "Okay."
Potatoes are very, very, very energy-dense foods. They are very filling, and they are more than enough to sustain yourself on. That is why I like them.
Well, you can't argue with that. And she like starts grabbing like all the necessary ingredients for it, and she looks to look down at Penelope and says, "What about you two? Do you want anything?"
Never had sandwich.
You've never had a sandwich? And she like gasps. And she like looks at Penelope and she's like, "You? Have you ever had a sandwich?" And Penelope like shakes her head. She's like, "No," too. She's like, "Oh my god, you poor depraved little things." And she goes and she grabs bread and begins fashioning together a very, very delicious pork sandwich for both of you, with just fresh vegetables, like fresh pork, like very well seasoned. And she puts it in front of you and Penelope, and then comes over and drops a very sad, sloppy. The potatoes are cooked this time, but a very sad, bumpy, sloppy-looking sandwich in front of Thames. And she sits at the edge of the counter.
He'll just pick it up and toss it in his mouth.
Just in one fell swoop, and she thinks that's like the most impressive thing she's ever seen in her life.
You see, we must consume a lot of food, more than the average person, and as such, whatever divine being that created us made it so we can eat more quicker.
And she like nods and she's like, "Yeah, strong bones, like I get that." And she like rolls up her sleeve to her overall and like tries to flex a muscle, and you see this tiny little muscle just kind of like bump up.
Impressive muscle.
And she goes, "Grrr!" And Penelope like sees it and she tries to like mimic it. She goes, "Grrr!"
Tim's is like giving an uncomfortable smile because he finds it cute, but also doesn't like.
He's not much of a children person, yeah. Like,
yeah.
And look down. So, would you like to eat your sandwich, your delicious looking sandwich, or what would you like to do with it?
Yeah, I don't know how. I'm assuming Penelope can reach the table to get their own sandwich.
It's a little bit high for her. She kind of has to like reach up to grab it.
I don't help her. I just grab my sandwich and just take an actual just bite out of it. I got nothing, no fear, nothing to lose. So
perfect. Go ahead and roll a con saving. I'm just kidding.
Oh shit! What did this child put in this food?
Penelope like is just like trying to jump up and reach for the sandwich. And she like grabs the plate, and kind of like brings it down, but the sandwich slides off the plate and falls onto the ground.
I try to catch it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a dex.
I want to stick ahead of reflexes. Natural 20.
Oh my god. Yeah, like seamlessly. Like you're chewing down the sandwich. It's delicious, by the way. Like it is.
Of course it is. It's a sandwich.
The best tasting thing you've ever had in your entire existence. And as you're doing this, you see just out of the corner of your eye the sandwich start to fall to the ground, and Penelope is like about to be in the worst anguish of her life, and you just naturally just swing out your hand and grab it, much like the pizza guy in that one fucking video where he has like 100 fucking pizza boxes stacked up and one falls and he just kind of catches it with his hand and casually puts it back on, and you hand it off to Penelope, and she says,
actually, just as soon as I catch it, I just hold it there for her to take it out of my hand.
she kind of grabs it, and your grip is just naturally very, very, like, tough. So she kind of grabs it and rips the sandwich a little bit, but she doesn't care, and she just goes, "Thank you."
Thank you.
And, Alice, have you returned to us yet?
Nah.
I don't think so. Okay, perfect.
Nope.
And so Alice is, kind of just, like, kicking her, feet at the ledge of the table, and she says, "So, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you help me get my grandpa back? Or at least get rid of the monsters. I miss my grandpa."
What is your grandfather's name?
My grandfather's name is Randolph.
And as she mentions monsters, Tim's just like, "Oh yeah, Max is out there with them." And he's like, "Hold on."
You just have like the panic thought of it. Do you do anything?
I said, I'm going to be excused for a second."
You exit and you kind of just do like you don't want to look like you're running, but you're doing like a very fast paced, like I imagine my dad at work, fast paced,
Yes.
which is pretty fast.
It's not a run. It's fast as a run, but it's at a walking stature.
Yeah, but it's at a walking pace. And you exit, and she like looks over to Penelope, and she's like,
Will you help me find my grandpa?
and Penelope like eagerly like nods her head yes, and like goes to she goes up to her and like starts kind of tapping on her feet that she's kicking. And Colette's like, "Great. What about you?" Looking over to look down.
I just kind of keep eating the sandwich and just kind of look at her.
And she's just like, "Okay."
Yeah, not giving any hint of one way or the other. Just a blank stare.
And it kind of like makes her a little bit sad, but she's happy enough that somebody's kind of like listening to her. And she says, "What is your name?" To Penelope. And Penelope says, "My name is," and she like tugs Look Down's rag once more.
Nah, he ain't got rags. He got the fresh drip now.
Yeah, that's true. We got the armor
she's
now.
Grabbing at the armor.
Ting, ting, ting.
And she like whispers, she's like, tell her.
Tell what?
Tell her my name.
Oh, Penelope.
And it's
Pen. I call her Pen.
Pen. Got it. Well, Pen, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for being so helpful. I think together between me and you, we can take the monsters ourselves. And Penelope's like,
That's on God.
on God, baby girl. And Thames, you've arrived back into the house by now, and you have
I have Max with me,
you have good old Maxwell with you.
and I had a talk with him outside, and it's like, be normal for fucking once, please.
He has the poopy face on, just like.
Yeah, so if you have any intrusive thoughts, keep them inside your head. Don't ask them to do anything at all.
I got the cards in my back pocket. I promise.
Not just cards. Anything else.
What do you... Can I... She gave you a sandwich. Can I get a sandwich?
I will ask for you.
And you make your way in, and like Max is like trying to be as polite as possible. So like he kind of just like stands a little far away. He's just like, hi.
He has finally been allowed back in. He would like you to make him a sandwich as well.
Hello,
If
friend.
you do not mind.
And she's like, I'll make them a sandwich, but they both stink really badly. And she points to Look Down and Max.
I did the best I could. I got them clean and close.
And she's like, she looks over to like Max and Look Down. And she said, "Can you please take a bath? Like, you're making me choke up." Like,
Like how Max took a bath this morning.
he still smells. Yeah, he's just naturally. He's like, I'm naturally a very sweaty man. Okay, I can't help it. It's just the rain
Dude.
jacket. It smells so fucking bad.
Even after Tim's repaired it.
Yeah.
That's
It's just
true.
he's
Damn.
worn it for so long that it's just it's caked on the
caked in,
smell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do Turliads sweat?
It's a good question. I would say maybe minorly, if any. I don't think that they sweat much at all.
Okay, so Tim's probably just smells like smoke.
Yeah, you definitely smell like your workspace.
Also, I would say hello, friend, to Max.
And Max is thinking about saying something like remotely cheeky, like, or just being himself in general, but he just kind of like looks over at Thames and he's just like, "Hi, buddy. What's up? What's the sauce?"
Sauce.
Yeah, it's like an expression, you know, like where you say like "What's up?" Instead of like "Look down," huh? It's "What's up?"
I look down.
And he's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. Can I please have a?" And he like looks over at Thames again. He's like, "Never mind. All right, I'll go take a bath." And he leaves the room.
And Tim's goes out first to go get the coat that's in the bathtub.
Dunks into the bathtub. He's like, can you please ask her for a sandwich for me? I'm really, really hungry.
I already did.
Oh, good. Okay.
You were there.
Guess I didn't roll a high enough observation to pay attention. You were there, he says.
He was.
That is true. That is true. Colette look down and she says, "Can you take a bath too? You're really smelly." The bathroom's occupied, but you can use the well to make yourself smell a little bit better.
Just looks confused.
And she says, "Here,
Yeah.
let me show you." And she exits the building, or she's going to try to exit the building with you and Penelope to show you where the well is.
Lookdown's got to have like one of the worst cases of nose blindness at this point.
yeah, it is like your fucking nostrils feel like they're on fire. Like it's like that point in a cold where you've had it for a really long time and your fucking nostrils are like so sensitive and flared and red that you're like, oh my god. But everything you smell just smells like burn. And so you kind of like dunk the jacket in, and Max is like, I can do that myself, okay? Like, listen.
No, it's been soaking. You may want to change the water, as there is currently vomit in there.
And he does so. He kind of he drains the water and he walks over to the sink, picks up a bucket and starts filling up the water, brings it over to the tub and pushes it in again, and does
Is
it
the
a couple
sink
of times.
like one of those that's like connected to the well?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
uses gravity.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And so he does so. He kind of cleans out the tub, and he's like, "Okay, I'm about to get butt-ass naked, so maybe you." I don't know. It's not a me problem. Like, I don't really care too much if you see me naked, but like, could be a little weird. Just two dudes chilling in a room together. Naked.
Man, to be honest, I've seen worse, and as long as I'm not naked, but yes, I get your point.
All right, and he kind of like turns himself around into the corner and starts like getting naked and tries to like cover himself up.
Right. If you want me to leave, maybe moving out of the doorway would be a good idea.
Fuck. Okay. What? And he kind of like, he's already pretty naked at this point, so he kind of like scooches across the wood while covering himself up. He's like, okay, there's the door.
Yeah, as soon as he moves, like Tim's is like, okay, bye.
And are you gonna do anything in the living room, or are you gonna follow them outside?
I'll follow them outside because I have to put this thing on the drying rack.
Okay, perfect. You all head outside. And Alice, have you returned to us yet? I don't think so.
Just in case you have and you're muted, just know that you're muted.
DOS mute.
Not having a funky moment, I see.
So Max is about to hop into the bathtub, and he notices, because he's very much so like this, and he's a very nosy person, he notices that that there's a door that looks very old and hasn't been touched in a while, collecting dust. And he goes up and he tries to wiggle the handle, and it's locked. And he kind of just like shrugs his shoulders and like hops into the bath and starts cleaning himself up. And he spends a little bit of time in the bath, maybe like a minute or two, and slowly but surely the door opens up just a couple of inches. And Max is just like, oh, fuck, man. What is this place, haunted? He kind of just thinks to himself. And he's just like, he's not above trying to call somebody to like make sure
that like something is taken care of. Even if he's in the bathtub like naked, he's just like, "Hello? Is anybody? Can somebody check this out for me? No, okay. And he kind of just like puts his underwear on and like is still wet in his underwear and starts and he walks into an old dusty room. Hold on, let me turn on the light for him here. I gotta cut it through shadow.
Who's flickering the lights?
He walks into a room and sees that it is an old office that hasn't seemingly been touched for ages and ages. It seems like it's been abandoned. There's cobwebs on the wall. There's just like dust collecting everywhere. You can see spiders crawling across the floor. Even some like little termite problems in the flooring. And Max kind of just like walks around and like looks through the study. And we will go outside.
My
She finds all
headcanon
the
is
time to get everything else done.
that Alice heard Max and just did not care whatsoever.
Yeah, she's just like, oh my god, I just... overworld, there we go. Yeah, save the changes.
And I just realized how she has all the time to clean everything else and take care of everything because she can just ignore that room.
Yeah. Let's see, where's, she's inside. And... Perfect. So you all come outside, and Thames, you see that the drying rack is over by the well here. Colette leads look down over to the well with Penelope. And I'm assuming that you're probably going to go hang the stuff up.
Yep.
Perfect. You hang up the clothes, and you notice that the clothes, there's adult clothes on the line. As well as some kids' clothes as well. And Colette says, "It's okay. You can just take it off if you really want to. I'll bring it inside."
Colette, was it you that was that has been doing laundry?
Yeah, why?
Just making sure.
And she grabs the clothes and she walks by Penelope and says, "Oh, go ahead and show him how to do it if he doesn't know." And she's gonna make her way back inside.
Yeah. Like Tim's like knows that was like an innocent thing, but he's like, "Does she really think I don't know how to use a drying rack?"
She's just completely unsure because everybody at this point is like, "I haven't had a sandwich before." Or like,
what's a bath?
Yeah, what's a bath?
Yeah, drying racks are within the jurisdiction of Tim's day-to-day job.
That is true. That is very true.
Let's be real here. Thames is probably the most competent at the moment right now.
Yeah, the most experienced person of everybody here.
Like, Pivot's gone.
Oh yeah, you would think that like Booksmart, it would definitely be Pivot, but like Thames just has like all this like worldly experience, so like anything that's like suggested like that he doesn't know, he's just like, oh wow.
Yeah, Pivot's got the high intelligence score, and Thames has got the high wisdom.
I'm a sneaky boy.
And
yep.
Penelope walks up to the well, and she like splashes water on her face to kind of clean her face off, and like points to look down and says, "Look, do this," and she splashes it up at herself.
I go to the well. Probably stare at it for a while, because I just realized I don't know that I've actually even seen my own reflection up to this point.
No.
So that's probably a little weird.
Yeah. Maybe like just like in a plate or something, but like other than that, or like silverware. But you've never like just kind of looked into a pool of water and seen it look back up at you. And Penelope like kind of giggles as you kind of look down. She splashes you in the face with water.
And no sell it.
It just giggles to herself.
Please do not get the armor rusty. It is not stainless.
And she goes, "Oh yeah."
Oh, no,
I try to take the armor
not
off.
you, Penelope. It is him.
I start to try to take the armor off.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really intricate. It's just a couple straps, really.
Gotcha. And then I set it aside.
If it was
And
intricate, Thames would have been in that castle for a couple more days.
Yeah, that's true. It would have taken a little while. And Penelope keeps like splashing water up at you, and she kind of like rubs her face and like tries to get you to rub your face too to make sure that you are a little bit less stinky.
I guess I'll try to start mimicking it.
Do you actually rub your face, or you just kind of like mimic it?
Well, like I mimic what she's doing. So
Okay,
I like
perfect.
actually, yeah.
And as you rub your face, these gigantic chunks of just dirt and gunk and dead skin just start kind of plopping off of your face, kind of revealing these just absolutely disgusting, just like deep burrowed scars that are just strewn across your face. And just as you kind of do it more and more, Penelope is getting like a little bit just more and more scared, and she like grabs your wrist and like shakes her head no.
I'm doing it wrong.
And she doesn't know like what to say, so she kind of like runs over to Thames and hides behind Thames.
Well, you see, Penelope, sometimes what people show to everybody is not what is truly there. Look down is the same look down you met at the castle, but he has been through a lot. But if you like to look down before, know that what he has on his face is what makes him look down now. If you know what I am saying.
And she like definitely understands in the fact that she's seen a lot of her fellow children at the encampment get beaten very brutally and have a bunch of scars. And although it's very traumatic for her, she understands that those people were still really, really good friends of hers. And she nods her head and kind of walks back over to look down and says, "Sorry."
And while she's like showing that, like Thames will show his hands, which are like in arms, which are essentially just burnt up and down.
Perfect. You do that, and she kind of also lifts up her hair, and you see a really just the lining of a really like bad black eye that has kind of started to heal, but it's kind of reached that like just discoloration stage. And she like smiles and says,
Yeah, we're all the same.
It's what makes us who we are now.
and she is just like smiling very, very happily.
Look back into the well to see what my face looks like without all the stuff caked on it, and I just kind of like rub my hand over my face over a lot of the scars. You know, probably some I can guess where it came from, some I can't even remember getting.
Mm-hmm. And like as you kind of look down into the well, you also kind of see Serviad's reflection, and he just kind of gently says to you, "Yes, this is who you are. This is what they tried to hide from you.
deep down inside, in the end, you are a survivor. And that will always be your tale. You are a great man, Look Down. And I want you to know that.
Look Down actually, not necessarily like a mad frantic, but starts to like get a little frantic and starts actually taking more water to wash more of him off.
And as you do that, the just like the chunks of dirt start kind of splashing into the water, and the kind of ripple muddies away the reflection of Serviad, and he disappears. And you can see kind of less and less of your face as the water just gets more muddied and tainted and just clouded. And then all of a sudden you can't even see your reflection anymore.
It's like a mild panic that he just kind of has, where it's just like a minor, doesn't know what to do with like this new feeling.
And Penelope, despite being a very young kid, also definitely experiences mild anxiety attacks for the things that happen to her. And so she goes over to you and hugs you, kind of like hugs around your waist, and shakes her head, and kind of starts tearing up a little bit, and says, No, it's okay.
Just kind of sit there shaky.
Perfect.
Trying to regain himself, but just kind of, you know.
Definitely.
Not gonna say. Yeah, it doesn't say anything, just
kind of subtly shakes to yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
And as you guys are doing this, we're going to go back to Sir Maxwell here in the house. All right.
Which, yeah, now that I'm nice and clean, you can see all of the slashes, the gapes, the claw marks, the pock marks. What looks like I was held up by hooks.
Yeah, just the chunks of just flesh that have kind of just fallen off, and just giant holes that have kind of just healed, but not entirely. Even little bits and pieces of metal, too, stuck in your skin that never were really taken out.
Yeah, whenever I would see the pieces of metal, Thomas would kind of think to himself, like, are my creations those?
Oh god, that's fucking sad. And as we come back to Maxwell, in his underwear, he is going through the study, and looking through the various papers that are now on the ground. There are newspapers that are dated for a pretty long time ago, and he sees like a couple of notes, but he sees more than anything, he sees a notebook that is kind of open up on a what do you call them?
Lectern?
Yes. And he starts kind of reading through it, and he sees an entry from a Randolph Stippins, and it says, on the first page, it says, a small trick for anyone in the landscaping department. If you need to get through the maze to trim the hedges by the fountain, don't waste your time going around. I made a spellbound password on the door to let you straight through to the end. Simply say Stippins and the door will open for you. And, like, Max just finds it kind of fascinating, so he keeps turning the pages. And as he's turning the pages, he sees a very
odd-looking caricature of a like a ghastly-looking monster, and the words say, "Rockwell tamed a mighty beast the other day that will prove to be a valuable asset in Verlight. I believe the beast was called the Civilonian. Anyhow, he captured it and put it in the maze for protection purposes. It has been trained to attack only when the gardens are under threat. Should some pillagers come through, as they have in the past, then the Civilonian will alert me right away. That is if the scream of it doesn't scare them off beforehand. It's ordered not to attack until I command it to. Despite her appearance, she really is a smart thing. She listens to every command I give and even makes sure that I leave the maze safely at night. Should something happen to me, though, oh, my lord, I dare not think of it. Let's hope that day never comes." And once again, he kind of flips the page to the next entry, which is labeled Bell Verlight. And it says, "We've had problems with a local Herbetian that has taken residence at Verlight. Normally, we don't allow anyone to take up residence on the property other than employees, but I don't know, I felt sorry for the kid. She's young with no one to take care of her, so against my better judgment, I told her she could stay. Only on the basis that she keeps the woods and don't disturb the tourists who come through. God only knows what will happen to me if my boss finds out. I can't lose this job. It's hard enough to stay afloat as a farmer. I would never make it in the city." And as he kind of flips through the pages, he sees that a couple entries are ripped out, and the next one says, "Well, it didn't take long for my generosity to backfire. A pair of half-human tourists walked through the forest today and found Belle. She tried to comfort them by showing how talented of a puppeteer she is. But the world just hasn't come to accept the Herbetians yet. For all the love and freedom the Creator has granted us, he seems to have lost the luster when it comes to the Herbetians. Society has told me they're dangerous through and through, but I just won't have it. If all Herbetians are like Belle, then we've made a grave mistake. For now, I'm just happy to see Belle watch little Colette and I play in the yard. I'll protect her right to live here, at all costs." And that is the last passage that Max kind of reads. And as Max kind of closes the book, he sees, hears somebody walk into the bathroom. Kind of opens up the door, asks if anybody's in there, like knocks, and then goes through. And Colette says, "Hello? Hello? Is anybody in here?" And Max, panicking, runs out and tries to open up the other door here, and it is locked. And so she hears the noise coming from the other room, and he is going to roll a stealth check to try to hide.
Good luck, Max.
Come on, Max. He rolls... What's his modifier here? Hopefully this works. Where you at, Max? No, not diseases. He has a... -3 to stealth. So he rolled a 13, so it's a 10. He tries to kind of hide himself up against the dresser here. But Colette runs into the room seeing that the door is opened and sees Max standing in his underwear pressed up against the wall. And she says, "What are you doing in here? You can't be in here. This is my grandpa's room. It's not okay for you to be here." And Max is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to come in here with the door opened up and it scared me. And she says, "Get out now! Now!" And she makes him leave into the living room and then actually runs outside with him, makes him come outside. All right. Perfect. And that is where we are going to end episode 2 for the evening.
Oh,
you
Max.
very much, everyone, for coming to hang out tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Thank you guys for coming and participating and exploring Verlight with Maxwell, who definitely wasn't supposed to be here tonight, but
You can ask Max to not be weird.
but Max always finds a way.
Max finds a way.
Max always finds a way.
Such as trespassing while soaking wet in his underwear.
Soaking, yeah, he's still in his underwear running outside.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you're like, yeah, just have the kids go show fucking look down how to bathe, and I'm like, way to put me in the weirdest fucking spot ever, where I'm playing a character that won't notice what the fuck is wrong with this. Yeah, that felt great. Like, please, just get me the fuck out of this.
Hey, to be fair, it wasn't weird, and I think it led to a sweet moment.
It was very sweet. It's true. All right, I am going to definitely really quickly give an outro, and I will be back, boys.
Alrighty.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for joining tonight, guys. I really appreciated it. If you want to catch more Marth's Dungeon episodes, you can do so every Friday at 8 p.m. EST. This next Friday is going to be a Marth's Dungeon episode. So it's going to be the game show, the trivia, everything, the whole shebang. And we will be continuing the campaign the following Friday. And if you are a streamer, we have 4 spots currently open for next week's game show and trivia. So if you haven't already and you're interested, make sure to DM me. Let me know on Discord, Twitter, wherever, even in streams, if you are interested in joining. And also, the Patreon, !Patreon here. Tori and I have been working very, very hard on the project. You can support us directly by becoming a... What do they even call it on Patreon? I actually don't know. A patron? A patron on Patreon? Becoming a fellow Marth's Dungeon enthusiast on Patreon. This is kind of like just the best way to support us in general. We split it between me and Tori, and I think Tori absolutely 100% through and through, just with how hard he works on these tokens, as well as all the artwork for the dungeons. It definitely deserves it. So thank you so much for your added support. Thank you for watching, and as usual, I hope you all have a lovely evening. Stay beautiful, my friends. Things look good, Keen. Thank you. I'm sorry that I don't talk much during these episodes. I'm like very, very hyper focused in on DMing. Trying to just keep in the element, but it's not to say that I don't highly, highly appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Candy, it was really good to see you. Heirloom, Gerald as well as Joe.